So I just left a restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up, and apparently I got stood up. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers. I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day, and the time. You know, I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time. Like, I'm just looking for my person. I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me. I mean, I want to be somebody's husband someday, father. I'm trying to do everything that's right, and I just get stood up. Like, my feelings didn't even matter. Sitting there eating a meal by myself and realizing that nobody even cares about people anymore. Like, LA and dating shouldn't even be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody. It shouldn't be this difficult to fall in love, to be kind to one another. Like, what, ladies, tell me, what did I do wrong?
You can't show me stuff like that.
It was upset for me to
No,
watch
you
as well.
cannot show me stuff like that.
Well, I watched it as well, and he said dating in LA is really hard. Dating everywhere is hard these days, man. If I showed you my Hinge profile, that shit's crickets. Crickets. I think I've matched with like 4 or 5 people in the last month.
Let me see your Hinge profile.
No, we ain't going there.
Let me give you some tips.
No. But even then, like, online dating sucks, and then even going out to meet people is really difficult. I've been stood up before. I think I told you, I went out with some girl. It was her idea to go to Laser Quest. I got there. Actually, no, she didn't stand me up. When we got there, she saw me and she turned around. I was like, oh man, that's an L.
Calm as a bitch.
Yeah. What did I do to deserve that?
You know what you did.
What did
Should I
do?
tell everyone on Midnight Rubbish what you did?
Yeah, go on.
So Michael arranged to meet with this girl, and Michael was sitting in his car waiting. And she started walking towards the car, and do you know what Michael did? He drove off.
Yeah, because I didn't catfish this girl. She catfished me.
The girl was just a bit larger than Michael anticipated.
A bit.
And for that reason, he drove off. Calm as a bitch.
No. It's not the same thing. The other girl, I don't know why, but we had seen each other before. For whatever reason, she just decided to tap out this time. The girl that I drove off from, I really hope she never sees this. I was under the impression she was about 100 pounds lighter. And I wouldn't do that now. I think that was a dick move. But I think it's a bit of a dick move to deceive people as well. I would not drive off now. I would just respectfully decline but I'd probably, to be honest with you, I'd probably go on the date and then just leave it at that, just to not waste their time. But that's not a karma situation.
Did you ask her to go halves?
No, she's paying for the whole thing. No, I'm joking. I feel bad for this guy though, man.
Going back to the video, look, I hate seeing things like that because I'm, as you know, a very sensitive person, and I love and I love the idea of people, you know, finding their person. Everyone's going to click off this video. They're gonna be like, oh, Savvy's eating her feelings. But that was heartbreaking for me because he has literally done everything that every girl preaches about. You know, you want the guy to just say, like, be ready at this time, I'm picking you up. He's made reservations, he's bought flowers, he's gotten to know this girl for 2 weeks. He probably found out what her favourite flower was. And for her to do that is so horrible. Like, just tell him, do you know what, I can't make it tonight, or just be honest. Like, don't, if I was out and saw this guy sitting there eating by himself with flowers on the table, like, my heart would have broken into a million pieces. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have just sat there with him and just told him everything is going to be okay, because I am a big believer in, like, there's someone out there for everyone. But I think another part of me is, like, I look at him and I relate on some sort of level, because you do find that you will do all the right things. You know, you could be, for example, if we're talking in man's terms, you could be everything a man says that he wants from a woman, and then when it comes down to it, he doesn't actually want you. Like, I'm I say this, I'm going to get grilled for it, but I believe that men don't actually want good women because when good women are in front of them, they don't want it. However,
that's
let me
BS.
no,
Okay,
let me
finish your point.
I agree, it is BS, and I'll tell you why.
You're going to disprove your own point.
Yes. Because just because someone doesn't want you doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. And it's not to say that they don't want good women. It's just maybe you didn't float the boat for other factors that they might have wanted from a woman, or maybe you just weren't compatible, or just simple things like that.
So why did you say
it? Doesn't, because I'm a good woman and there's been a lot of men who haven't wanted me, the ones that I've wanted. And I just think like, you preach that you want a good woman, one's in front of you, you don't want it, and then you go after all these other girls and then you complain like there's no good women out there, and it's like, well, maybe you are going for the wrong people, and then when there's a good one in front of you, you don't want it, but at the same time, maybe I just weren't what they wanted. I don't know.
Do you think it's possible? I do think you're a good woman. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's possible you chose bad men?
Potentially. Probably. Yes.
Okay. So that doesn't mean
not
that
each and every time though.
I don't know every single guy you've spoken to.
Yeah.
The ones I am aware of, I'm not fans of. And I would say that it's not fair to say guys don't want good women. I would say,
like saying women don't want good men, because he clearly was exactly, but he was clearly a good guy, and this woman for some reason didn't want him, but then she'll go for, say, the guy who's not going to treat her like that, and then complain, oh, there's no good men about.
Yeah, I understand. It's a vicious cycle, and I've been stood up before, and I've unfortunately done the standing up as well, and I understand that it can make people think that the opposite gender is not good. Mm-hmm. The problem is that in this day and age with online dating and very like clicky, very fast content, everyone's always thinking the grass is greener on the other side, and it makes it really difficult for someone to just invest in one person, because once they get that person, they're like, oh, but what does this person feel like? What is this person like? Rather than just taking the time and going through the difficult times to be with that one person and growing together. I think in this like very social media age, TikTok, very like everything's very fast. Everything's got a very high turnover rate.
Everything's very fake.
Yeah, it's very hard to find genuine people, and because most of the time now we communicate online, my personality doesn't translate well online. I don't know. Hinge is not working for me. Mm-hmm. When I go out and I meet people, it's much easier for me to talk to them. Mm-hmm. But when I'm talking to people online, I can't. It doesn't translate well, and you get a lot of women saying, "Oh, you know, where are all the good guys, this, that, and the other?" But the bullshit they put in their profiles, it's like, I'm sorry, but everybody is copy and paste. A good guy comes along like that, for example. You're not interested at all. You stand him up. It works both ways. Now, I don't think all women are bad. I think that the hookup culture and the online dating culture has caused a big problem for men and women. I don't really know what the fix is, but it does go both ways. Women on Hinge are incredibly difficult to talk to. The same way that they make complaints about men, they dismiss a lot of men as well.
Maybe you're going for the wrong women.
I'll be honest with you. If I show you what my Hinge is like, I've opened it, and it's very rare that I will even. I think you click the heart, right?
If you like someone, yeah.
Or like you can send them a rose or something, but you have to pay.
You only get one rose, yeah.
Yeah, one rose. I sent it to someone that it didn't work, but I find it very hard to press like on someone's profile because everybody says the same shit. Some dumb post like, "My most irrational fear that you're boring." I can't talk to you if you're going to act like that. You know, they had those dumb questions on Hinge. Most profiles that I come across, they're the same. And every girl thinks they're unique. And they got something different. I'm like, I've seen this profile 10 fucking times.
That's really interesting.
It's very... I don't like online dating. I don't use it that much. I won't go on Tinder. I made a Tinder profile. It was some of the most shambolic things I've ever seen. I didn't know you had to pay for Tinder.
You have to pay for Tinder?
Yeah. So when I went on it, it was like you only get to do a certain amount of things a day. Most of the people that came up were not people that I'd ever look twice at, and their profiles were very boring. And then you get to like swiping off people, and it goes, you run out of swipes, and then you got to pay for. I was like, no, I deleted my profile. I didn't just delete the app. I deleted the whole profile. I'm not going back on it. I'm not on Bumble, any of those things. Hinge is the only one that I tried.
Yeah.
It's a big L. I have much more success when I go out and speak to people. But it's even hard doing that these days. Everyone's just rejecting everybody. Sex is down as well. People are not sleeping
Yeah.
together anymore.
This is the thing. I think it's always better to meet someone organically. I think there's less pressure when you meet like that as well. Whereas if you've been talking to someone from online, there's a lot of build up prior to meeting. You don't know if you're really going to bounce off each other in person. You don't know if they're going to look like their picture in person. You know what I mean? So I get it. I think organic is the way forward. I do think it is difficult to meet people these days. Like, where do you go? There was actually a video I saw on Brett Cooper's page, actually. And it was this guy that was like, basically, this online dating isn't working for me, so I'm going to go stand in the library reading a book by a certain person or something, whatever. Okay. And she was like, do you know what? This is actually such a good idea. I think she said the book is overrated, but the whole concept of, why not go to places where you're going to meet people who like the same things as you? I don't know. It's not easy. If it was easy, you know, I'd be in a relationship by now. I do think it is ruined because there is too many options at people's fingertips online. And people are always looking and thinking, like, if you was talking to a girl and then one day she was a bit miserable, you'd be like, why am I going to deal with this miserable person when look at how many happy other pretty girls there are that you could try and talk to?
Yeah.
It's tough, and everything you see online is not real, and people are always comparing other people to that, comparing themselves to that, and it's just it's just spiraling out of control.
Yeah, it's a shame that nobody wants to be committed anymore. I genuinely felt bad for this guy. I don't think I've been in a situation like that before, but it's not far-fetched to think that would happen and that you would go there. I heard this other thing, that restaurants create fake profiles. So when people go to the restaurant, they get stood up, they end up ordering food.
That is so wrong.
Yeah, I saw a comment and I was like, if restaurants are doing that, shame on you.
That's just playing with people's emotions.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case, because that's really fucked up. I don't know how you'd sleep at night knowing that guy's sitting there eating a steak on his own.
Listen, I'm not going to sleep tonight because you showed me that video.
I feel bad for him, but that's not exclusive to LA. That shit's happening in London right now.
You could see and hear in his voice how upset he was, and
he's probably just tired.
If I was in my bedroom, watching that, I would have been like sobbing, crying though, like not just a tear running down. I would have been like heart hurting, like sobbing. But because you was here and the camera's rolling, I held it together.
I when I saw it as well, I was like, man, I feel you, man. Dating is difficult. It's hard because as much as I want to be committed to somebody as well, but it's scary to commit to somebody when you know we live in a culture where it's hard to find commitment. So you invest your time into somebody, and then, you know, they could just ditch you like that. They just shut down. And I don't understand how people do that. I don't understand how people just shut down and move on to the next. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I guess in their heads, they would have been preparing it over time and just not communicated that to you. But I don't know. Our culture's just a mess. I mean, I've never been a massive fan of like getting the government involved with like marriage and whatever. I don't mind religious marriages. Even like the idea of marriage now has become, it seems more scary to me because of how hard it is to find somebody that is just going to love you in your ups and downs. You know, people are all there for the ups. They'll ride with you when you're up. But when you're down, it's very rare that you will find somebody that would stick it through with you. I read the comments on that TikTok, and they was all very supportive, but I just don't believe people. Like you said, there is a lot of guys out there there will be a good girl, and they'll shun them for the girl shaking her butt on Instagram, and then they'll complain about that girl being a thought. And there's a lot of women out there that are like, oh, I just want a guy to be faithful, this, that, and the other. A nice guy will come along, but there's one little thing. I don't know, maybe he's not 6'5" or some shit. And you're like, no, I don't want him. I'm just like, this is why we're single, because everybody seems to be doing this. At one point, I was doing it as well, where you want this like WWE create a character thing where you've molded them perfectly, and they're just going to be gift wrapped to you as you've imagined them in your dreams. And that's just not how shit works. All of the girls that I speak to have the same idea of what they want their man to look like. And a lot of the guys that I speak, actually, do you know what? I don't mean to sound sexist when I say this. I don't hear it as much from guys. I see it on Instagram. I see what people are liking, but when I have conversations with them, I don't get it as much. I get it more from girls these days.
But I think
that's just my experience.
But I think it depends on the guy's intention. Like if it's his intention to make a girl his girlfriend, he's gonna care more so than just if he's trying to get his leg over.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Whereas women probably care when getting their leg over and when finding a relationship. They want it to be someone they're attracted to.
It's such a shame. I think it's such a nice thing to build with somebody and look back on where you started and where you are. Even if that means you have some serious downs, as long as you rise to the occasion with that person, I think that's a great thing. And I just don't like where our culture's gone. And the problem is that as much as you want to be committed, like I said, it's scary to be committed to somebody now because you don't know if they're committed to you. I know cheating's always been a thing, but in the social media age and like with dating apps and things being easily accessible and all of these things being sensationalized on the internet, it is very difficult for you to come across somebody genuine. So I feel that guy, man. It's not just LA, it's everywhere. Everywhere, especially, I would say in the West. I don't know about places like China and Japan and all that stuff. But over here in the UK and I guess in the US as well, it's a shit show. It is an absolute shit show.
People are not really taking the time out to get to know one person or maybe even a few at the same time. People are just outright just greed, just wanting to talk to as many people as they can. Like there was this one guy I was talking to, and I kid you not, every single day he was following like 10 to 15 new girls on Instagram every single day. And I thought to myself, how are you ever going to build a connection with one woman or find a relationship if you're just constantly looking for more every day? But maybe he didn't have the intention of actually settling down or finding a girlfriend. That's why he's doing it. But still, like, how do you talk to so many different people and remember who does what? And like there was one time a guy said to me, oh, what do you do again? And I knew from that moment, this guy's not, like, he's talking to loads of people. He can't even keep up with what job I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I was just straight away like, do you know what? This ain't for me. But that's what I'm saying. How do you keep up? Names, jobs, favorite colors, family members, siblings. If you're not trying to get to know someone, if that's how it is, if you just want to talk to loads of people, but it's a lot to keep up with. Like I barely even have time to upload on the TikTok. You think I've got time to sit there and entertain 10 guys and still keep trying to find more? Yeah, absolutely not.
I don't think you should give up on love, and
love doesn't exist. Joking. Everyone's gonna kill me. Oh my god.
Love does exist, and I don't think we should give up on it. I know it sucks. You gotta. You know, sometimes you think you found love as well, and it just doesn't work out. And I know it can be very, very defeating. I'm speaking from self-experience.
You can say that again.
But I don't think you should give up on those things. I think I don't believe there's someone out there for everyone.
I do.
But I do think that if you put in the effort...
Have you ever watched Jeremy Kyle before?
Yeah.
And you don't believe there's someone out there for everyone?
We're not using Jeremy Kyle as a...
But we can, though. Let's talk about it.
Why?
Because why not?
Jeremy Kyle does not represent the entire public. They pick the most bombastic individuals.
Okay, and they've all still got partners.
Yeah, because the show is based on relationships. So they find people that are really weird that are in relationships. Okay. So there's a lot of people that are maybe socially awkward that just can't find relationships. We spoke about this with men being single and depression rates going up.
I understand that. And I'm not talking about some people who find it hard. I'm just saying I do think there's someone out there for everyone. So just because they're too scared to go meet their person doesn't mean that their person isn't out there.
Do you absolutely believe that? That there is someone for everyone?
Yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt?
Yes.
I think it's possible. I don't believe it myself. I think there's some people out there, unfortunately, it might even be me, that unfortunately, hate to say it, are going to die alone.
I think I'm going to die alone.
You know, you got me. I'll be here.
No, but I want a boyfriend. I want a husband, actually.
Well, you're stuck with me.
Huh?
You're stuck with me. Just have a friend.
A friend for life.
Yeah.
I've got my dog.
Oh, Hugo's with me. But I think you should always strive to be the best person of yourself, and hopefully that will attract somebody that can mirror you. I know situations like that can be defeating. I know his is not the only case. I've heard of guys showing up to dates and the girl's just not there. I've heard of guys going on dates and she just wanted food, and then it makes it difficult to trust if she is going to what?
No, continue.
It makes it difficult to trust the next girl that you're going to go on a date with if she's not just trying to get a lunch date.
And I've heard of guys who arrange to meet up with girls and take her out on a date and then let the girl get ready, do her hair, her makeup, and then just leave her there waiting and don't call her for the rest of the night when you had plans to meet at 7, 8 o'clock.
That was very specific.
No, I'm not, it's not me, but I know people that's happened
Yeah,
to.
I'm sure there is. There's a lot of
It happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, I will know. I'm not going to experience it on the male side because I'm not matching with men. But if I believe you, I know there's a lot of pieces of shits out there.
Yeah,
I don't think you should waste people's.
And women do this and women do this.
No, I'm
and women do this,
speaking.
but
I'm speaking
men
to guys.
do the same as well, Michael.
Yeah, you can speak on that then.
Yeah, I am.
Speak on it.
I will.
But I'm saying for the guys watching, because there's a serious problem with men right now in dating. I'm not saying it's not affecting women, but we know the depression rates have skyrocketed amongst men. Men being single has skyrocketed. I know right now things look very grim in the dating scene for young guys. Look, I'm single as well, man. It's very difficult trying to find somebody that you want to bring home to mom. Because I want to be in a relationship where I can, you're in those really nice relationships where you don't even have to wake up at the same time. Your whole family loves them. They're already downstairs, like talking to your sisters or your brothers or whatever. Come downstairs, and it's just all blessed. Like
this is the most depressing conversation ever.
It's not, because I think that I'll find that eventually. I'm optimistic that I will. I know it's difficult. I don't like the fact that I'm 31 now and I haven't gotten there, but I believe that I can get there. You just got to continue being the best version of yourself. Doesn't mean that you won't stumble along the way, but as long as you stay up, somebody will eventually show up. And I don't know what age it'll be, but you'll build a life together and you'll have a good time. I know people that have only just met their life partner at the age of 40. I know that's not like a number that anybody really wants to hear, but it happens. I just don't think people should give up on themselves because they've dealt with a lot of rejection. And guys deal with a fuck ton of rejection, way more than women. I know women deal with rejection. It's not on the same level. Guys, we just understand that is just a part of our lives. Even if you're a good-looking guy, you will hold multiple L's. That's why guys play the numbers game a lot when they go out. They'll talk to loads of girls because for them, like if a pretty girl goes out and she approaches a guy, she's more than likely going to get his number. But if a guy goes out and approaches a girl, he's probably going to hold an L. Not all the time, but he probably will. So, we just deal with rejection. But I don't think you should give up on yourself. Whether you're short, bit overweight, go and lose some weight, get a better job, work on yourself, make the people around you happy, and maybe that will attract somebody to you as well. That level of security that you can provide. Anyway, anything you want to add to it? Are you depressed now?
No, I'm cool. Yeah. I'm actually happy because, when you look at loads of people who are in relationships and they just have so much drama and stress.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't have none of that. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to constantly try and make sure that I look good for my partner. I'm not sleeping at night wonder if somebody's cheating on me. That's
a good thing.
I'm chilled.
I want it to look good for your partner.
It is. But it's also effort as a woman.
Oh no, I think somebody that really wants to be with you is not going to be worried about your makeup. They're probably going to be more worried about how much calories you're consuming. I
understand all of that, but still, as a woman, when you've got a man, you want to look good for him, and unless you're one of them people that's sort of naturally pretty, it's a bit of a song and a dance.
You are naturally pretty though.
Oh, drop me out. That's not the point I was getting at, but thank you.
I feel like you're taking digs at yourself.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not. I'm just trying to say I'm content being single right now. That I'm not stressed.
Oh, I'm not stressed about being single. But
but you said, am I really sad now? And I'm basically saying, no, I'm actually fine.
No, because you said earlier that was going to make you cry.
Watching that guy get stood up wanted to make me cry because I'm such a sensitive person. I hate seeing other people go through bad things. And he deserves the best love that he can ever find because he will make a woman so happy one day. Well,
we don't know the guy. So based on the video, I felt sorry for him, but he could have been saying all sorts of crazy shit to her and she didn't show up. So let's just say that.
No, this is what I was going to say to you. I do have anything else I want to add. Thank you for asking.
Okay, go on.
not saying this guy is doing it, because he actually, I could hear in his voice that he was genuine, unless he's a really good actor, you know, like the guy sounded really hurt. There is a lot of people who do videos like that, some of which are actually good looking men, and they're like, oh, I got stood up by my date, and they play on this thing to get all the girls' heart emotions going. That's a wrong word there. Yeah. And it's all bullshit. It's all lies. That you never went to go on a date. You never got stood up. Or then people that's like, oh, spending my birthday alone. No one wanted to come out for my birthday. And then they've probably, like, they record the room with a party set up and there's no one there. And you know, as soon as that phone goes off, everyone comes and they have the party. But it's for views, for clicks, for engagement, for attention. Like, and it's not everyone out there is genuine. I think this guy was genuine, but you do get a lot of crooks on TikTok.
Do you know why I brought that point up? I went on his TikTok. He is a comedian. So he does comedy. I think his name's Jonathan Does Comedian. I believed him, but I'm just saying, sometimes people can think that they are treating somebody with respect, or that they deserve the respect of somebody, and really they're just being a fucking creep. So I think it's we should acknowledge that as well.
Sorry, that was rude.
You love doing that, don't you?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Please accept my apology. I'm being serious as well. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm sorry. It was rude.
That's fine. I accept your apology.
Thank you. Bro, who is the cameraman?
Yeah, who the fuck's recording
Who
that?
is
For
the
you guys
cameraman?
that can't see that, I can't put it on here because we'll get copyrighted. But
Put it on muted, just a short clip.
okay, fine.
Fucking hell.
What?
Why do you look so... Oh, okay, fine. Like
That's
you don't
just-
want to do it.
What?
You plan your best friend's birthday and no one shows up. Yeah, you've got that many seats at the table and you're telling me nobody showed up. You're telling me nobody showed up. You think that's genuine?
No, of course. Well, it's on TikTok, so no.
Of course it's not genuine.
100,000 followers. Oh, fuck off.
We'll probably scroll down and see them all partying on that same table. But anyway, yeah, you get the point I'm trying to make. But his one was genuine.
Yeah, well, I hope you find love, bro. And
I hope you do too.
if you do, put out another TikTok. If you're talking shit, then fuck you. Because that video is upsetting for everyone to watch.
It's like that. Do you remember when we was watching was it the Nerds Trying to Find Love?
Oh, yeah, at the Comic-Con thing.
Yeah, like it's a bit like that. Like, it's just sad.
It is difficult.
want everyone to find love because it's a beautiful thing.
Do you know what I find difficult? I think people perceive me in a certain light when they see me. But then when I start talking, they're like, oh, this guy's a fucking nerd, like a super nerd. Like I love talking about anime. And it's hard to show that side of my personality when you're trying to get to know somebody unless they're into anime, because they just shut off immediately. Or gaming or gym or wrestling, you know. And then you kind of have to conform to what they like, and it's just like, I don't want to do that. And then you, obviously, because I don't want to do that and I won't do that, I end up closing myself off to a large portion of the dating market. And then I don't know, man. I don't know how to navigate this whole new dating scene. I hadn't dated because I was in a relationship for so long that I missed all of this. So being re-exposed to this culture, it was there before I got into my long-term relationship, but it has drastically gotten worse since. Online dating is not the same as when I was 24, 25.
No, just dating in general has changed a lot since I was like 18 to 21.
Yeah,
it's completely different now.
I hadn't been single since I think I was 25. I went from relationship to relationship, right? I think 25 or 26. So I was out of the game for like a while. So being reintroduced to it I'm like, fuck, man, send me back. I don't want to be here.
It's tough out here, I'll tell you that much. It is very, very tough.
A lot of disappointment.
A lot of disappointment.
But you know what?
Heartache.
You just got to look on the bright side. And the bright side for me is that I have my health, I've got my friends, and I have common sense. And I think that eventually
Amen to that.
I will find somebody that can match my energy and mirror the things that I like, and we'll build a good relationship together. And one thing I think is so important in relationships is that you have to stick by somebody in their downs. Not all downs. Some downs are like, if you're doing some dumb shit, then fair enough. But yeah, I don't like subscribing to that whole the grass is green on the other side. I'd rather just be in the trenches with the person that I'm in love with and try and sort it out and go from there.